We're updating the weekly chart on the NASDAQ Biotech Index. That's the complete index in the NASDAQ, and this is a weekly chart, MMTs. This has been on fire. It's been a big contributor of the 2013 bull rally. We're right back up here at the ceiling, and we are unfortunately entering a very overbought area in this particular area of the chart, meaning that it's made a big run. Um, we went from 1950 all the way up here to 2104. That means that the leadership in the biotech industry, once again, is kicking on all cylinders. One of the things that we're going to try to show here is the ETF IBB Weekly. It's an ETF. It too, just like the index that I showed, you can clearly see that they're both up here. This is an ETF, and it's in an overbought area. So the ETF, it's time when it's time to buy these ETFs, or we can short them when they want to go down. I just want everyone to know that biotech is running at full steam, and it's probably one of the best sectors overall within the broader market, this biotech. And biotech finally came back to life as we said it would in 2000, and it started in 2012. You can clearly see that every dip to the 20-week moving average, the pink line, we go up. The rising 10-week is more than a bull. The problem short term with this ETF, and once again, the NBIX, this is the NASDAQ Biotech. Outside of it, it's called the NBI.X. They both look identical. They're both, the ETF runs right along with it, but nonetheless, they're both extremely overbought. So the thing about it is that we will take a look at individual stocks that have made great moves, like Celgene, CELG. Here's one that's a leadership. It too reflects coming up to its all-time highs. Celgene, CELG being a bellwether. Another one that we like, that's been a great one, that's had every time this thing gets down toward 200 like it did over here, this thing just rockets right back up. We get these weekly corrections in Biogen. It's in those ETF, and BIIB is another leader like Celgene. When we take a look at Gilead, Gild, Gilead Sciences, once again is coming up to highs, and they're going to be testing their all-time highs. We love this sector. Amgen, AMGN, is another one that got down here to $104. They had an earnings miss last quarter, but we're coming right back up here. So you can see that Amgen and Biogen and Celgene are pushing forward on the leadership. Is pushing forward to get these indexes up at the high. So we're covering just a few of them. One of the things that we're going to feature is the Bear ETF. And what Bear ETF is it? It's called the BIS Weekly Pro Shares Ultra Short NASDAQ Biotech. Now, when biotech has its reversal at the highs in September and October period, we're going to be looking at where this is extremely on a weekly level. We can see it went from 32 down here to 27.6.8. And seasonality wise, from that particular sector, when we go back to the BIIB chart, these leaderships like Biogen and Celgene, when they correct, all the three stocks that I in the leadership, and there's other ones, they will pull it down. So when we look at Biogen, Celgene, and Amgen, those are three of the greatest leaders in the biotech on a daily price movement, is that when those come down, then the other ones are going to go down. So when we look at all of these various components, when corrections are going to happen, here's the biotech index again. It's up here at the all-time high. So basically what we're doing is trading the reverse side of an overbought level using the BIIB ETF. It's a bear. It's a 2x bear, as I'm being told. So the 2x bear is where this is the least amount of risk. So we're buying cheap down here, and the risk for the biotech sector is that it's overbought, it's up at its all-time highs, and it will have another correction. They do have corrections in those leadership stocks. So that would push the bear up for a trade as this one's overbought. So I'm going to conclude the biotech trade.